Welcome to the Ohio Ram Show, number 299.
Well, hello again, Ohio Ram Show. If you see the count of our show, you know we're getting darn close there to a special number in our shows. It's probably going to happen here before VRAW and VRAM is over, but we're back again with Joanna Sharpe there in Auckland, New Zealand. How you doing?
I'm feeling a little jaded, to be honest with you. It's pretty hard going, isn't it, now? I think, what are we on, day 3 now? Feels pretty hard. I feel a little bit battered and bruised. Just struggling a lot more than I was yesterday, but we're going to get it done.
Well, just for the numbers, it looks like you're about 2/3 of the way, maybe a little better than that. About 500 kilometers to go is next I can figure. And actually, I want to tell you something. You're only about 80 kilometers behind Marco Ballo.
No way.
Yes, that's the truth. And so, as I told you,
feel better. It's not
that should. I finally found out the name of the woman who's chasing you. It's Ginger Howell. Her name on there is Ginger Snap. She's doing very well. It looks like she's maybe creeped up on you just a little bit, but with only 500 kilometers to go, it's going to be pretty tough for her to make up 100, I'd think. So,
I did go out hard. To be fair, I went out quite hard and fast on the first day. I wasn't quite sure how the others were going to ride. So I'm glad I did that, because I suppose I feel like I've got a few kilometers in the bank, hopefully.
Okay, well, so how was your night? Did you do all right? Did you sleep much?
I got 45 minutes again last night. It was hard, I'm not going to lie. I've got a tonsil infection, as I found out yesterday, but luckily I've had some antibiotics on hand, so that's kind of kicked that into touch, and my temperature's gone, which is good. Really, it's just things aching, I suppose. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I expected it was going to be challenging, and it is. And I guess how I see today is really a lot of learning. It's really about problem solving, I think, today. So every time something comes up and I don't feel great, it's a matter of, right, how are we going to solve that? How can we make that bit feel better? But I think with the static bikes, there's certainly a lot of challenges around that lack of mobility. It's those little micro movements that you don't do on the road that I'm really beginning to notice. Just the stiffness, that's probably a bit different to what I would typically find if I was on the road.
Well, a couple things to be said about that. First of all, no one else has done this either, so you're among good company. And I think you're right. You know, you're moving back and forth, but the bike really isn't moving with you, is it?
Yeah, and I've really noticed that. I mean, as I said to you yesterday, I've never been on an indoor trainer before 6 weeks ago. So I've definitely noticed that's proved challenging. But there's been things which have been a lot easier as well. So, for example, fueling is a lot easier than if we were on the road. So there's upsides as well.
You can always send out for something real easy, can't you?
Absolutely. I've got a very loyal partner who's been fueling me up and giving me drinks, and so that's been good.
So let's talk about nutrition. What have you been eating and drinking?
I'm sure the others probably are more experienced than me, but I find it hard, to be honest. So I stick to a lot of a liquid diet. I use Hammer, which I know a lot of people do.
Yep.
The Hammer, the Perpetuum, and the Enduralites in particular in my drinks. But in terms of food, I've gone through phases. So creamed rice was to start with, and then now I hate creamed rice. But then things like, sort of sandwiches were great, but now I'm over sandwiches. So I think for me, it's just about supplementing the Hammer with whatever my taste buds kind of feel like, and just making sure I'm drinking a lot. Because obviously you sweat a lot more, don't you, on an indoor trainer?
Okay, your hydration doing okay?
Yeah, I think, in fact, if anything, I probably hydrated too much on the first day. So I had to kind of adjust that because I was probably anticipating that I was going to sweat an awful lot more than I did. So I actually dialed back a little bit how much I was drinking. But
Okay.
the hydration's been fine.
And
And the
have you
fueling's been fine. Like, I'm still feeling strong. So I think we've got that pretty good.
and do you weigh yourself?
Lee, I have to be honest with you. I weigh about as much as a wet dish rag. I'm probably one of the lighter riders.
I mean,
so weighing myself isn't something I like to do because it usually doesn't tell me anything good at the end of it. So no, I haven't. I would do normally just to see how much fluids I'm losing, but it's not something I've done this time, probably.
okay, well, it sounds like you're doing well. By this time tomorrow, let's see, I think
I hope I'm near the finish by this time tomorrow.
there's a good chance you might. Yeah, that climb up to Flagstaff, a lot of people hate that with a purple passion. How'd you do with that?
Yeah, I see. Again, because I'm probably a smaller rider, the climbs kind of suit me, and that was part of my ride plan coming into this, was that I was going to work hard on the climbs, because normally if I'm on the road, it's, the climbs are kind of my strength. So yeah, I found the climbs fine. Of course, that's going to be a different story now today when I'm with very tired legs, but I'm on a flat section at the moment, so we'll see how we go later.
Okay, well, let me watch real carefully tomorrow, see how you're doing. And maybe once you get to the end, you can ping me and we'll chat again, okay?
I will do. That would be fabulous. Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Okay,
chatting.
thank you so much, and stay with it. Remember, a slow pace is better than no pace.
Thank you. Good advice. I'll take that.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.